world. But when we look at the market as a whole, if we look at the Sacramento, Placer, El Dorado counties combined, last month, we actually had 2852, so 2,852 homes for sale. This last month, 2459. So basically, in a month's time, we have had houses for sale go down 13.8%. So the most important thing to know is that we're actually going down in inventory, and then we're raising in our pending and the amount of homes that are sold. And the reason why we're raising so much in the houses that have sold is because the pendings for the last few months have been up. So more houses have been going into contract than are being listed. So of the sold homes, we're up about 13.1%. And then the pendings were actually up about 4.5%.
Man, I feel like it's like a lot. It feels like a lot more. Like a lot.
It does. And that's what I find so interesting about these numbers. And this is why I want to be clear that we're talking about Placer, Sacramento, El Dorado County. So you're going to have different numbers if we have just Placer or just Sacramento. But I want to give the market as a whole a chance. But I think in Placer County, the numbers are a lot different. I think we have a lot less inventory. I think the pendings are way higher. Even the price per square foot has gone up $7 in 1 month. And so it went from $255 last month to $262 price per square foot this month. That's $7 difference. That means that it's an all-time high for the year on price per square foot. Now,
and that's greater Tri-County?
Yeah. And you can't go by that alone. Yeah. But, when you look at the average sales price of the greater Tri-County area, the last month was $496,000, and this month is $529,000.
I think that's really important. Like you said, that like you can't go on that for the whole Tri-County area. But I also, we'll have conversations with customers, maybe a little bit of a sidetrack here, but I think it's a good point is that, price per square foot is something that we look at that kind of does indicate, potential value, but you can't take price per square foot times your square foot of your house. So the average square footage, the average price per square foot in your area is, let's say 300. You can't multiply that by a 3,000 square foot house and say like, that's my value. It doesn't really work that way because the cost to construct is different. It's a lot cheaper to, do a 2-story than it is going to be a 1-story. And so, on an appraisal, an appraiser between square footages is really only adjusting based on the area, maybe 30 to 60 bucks per square feet. If your house is, 100 square feet larger than the other house that's sold. So you can't take 100 times 300 and say my home is worth $30,000 more because it's 100 square feet larger. It doesn't really work that way from an appraisal standpoint. I just feel like that's fair to note there,
I think that's important. I think that's worth mentioning.
Because I've had conversations with clients like, my house is 52 square feet larger than another comp. It should be X larger because the homes are selling for $365 a square foot. Like the math doesn't work that way when you're trying to come to price.
Yeah. No, I think that's well said.